Hey VC, it's me Roger, again. I hope you're all doing well out there. I wanted to come on and show you something special. This is not a word I use a lot, Grail. In fact, it's kind of annoying, or it's loosely thrown around. I mean, to me, a Grail means, you've been after it a long time. It's rare. You have to make a sacrifice for it, So anyway, we all have them. And I found one recently, and I want to share it with you. Now, some time ago, a long time ago, my friend Sam Bird of the drumming fame, Sam Bird, the drummer, he gave me this CD, the Mars Volta, Francis the Mute, which originally came out in 2005. I think he gave it to me around 2008, something like that. And loved the music. Hated the way the CD sounded. I mean, this is one of the worst sounding CDs ever. I mean, it's not only compressed to bits. I mean, brick walled. I mean, there's no dynamic range whatsoever. There's clipping. There's digital clipping. And unlike analog, one of the virtues of analog is when you drive it in over 0 dB, in the analog world, that's a nice sound. That's a nice kind of euphonic distortion, you call it. In the digital realm, if you go beyond 0 dB, it's a nasty sound. It's a really, really nasty sound. It's the kind of thing that I cannot believe that any professional approved the master of this. Anyway, so, I'm not one of these people that thinks that, ipso facto, vinyl sounds better than CD in all circumstances. I don't believe that at all. I'm not one of these people that thinks CDs sound bad, ipso facto sound bad, that digital is bad. I'm not one of those people. I have strong opinions about all this stuff, but I'm not this sort of absolutist has to be on vinyl. I would be perfectly happy with this musically if the CD didn't sound so terrible. Now, Bill's Box of Sound commented on Facebook, that this music, and let's talk about the music here. It's really tiring, to listen to. There's so much going on. It's really tiring to listen to, and yeah, lots going on in this music, the Mars Volta, and this is their masterpiece. But it's tiring to listen to because it's just so freaking smashed. And all of their CDs sound terrible, and I've gotten all of their other records, and I have the music on vinyl reissues of their first one and their third one. I don't know why they didn't do this, but they didn't, and those sound very nice. And then I have the other vinyls, and they sound, they're not compressed to shit, and they don't have that digital clipping sound, So, those others were much easier to obtain than this particular one, Francis the Mute, because this is their masterpiece. Now, some time ago, I'd shown this that I'd found relatively cheaply. This is a 12-inch. The title track, Francis the Mute, is actually not on the album Francis the Mute, but it is on this 12-inch with a live version of The Widow on the other side. And I remember remarking, I'm glad I have this because it sounds better than the CD single, which is also smashed and distorted. And I'm like, someday I'll have the vinyl and then I'll have the whole thing. Well, alright, so. It's a Grail. I have to tell you the story. So, wife's out of town last weekend. I'm hanging out on Discogs, as you do, right? And as I periodically do, I went and looked to see, what these things were going for. And I saw a copy priced in dollars, and it was at Phonolux, this record store here in Nashville. And I thought, And they graded it VG. And they wanted $150 for it, which, with that condition, was actually a really good price. Now, does this look VG to you? So I would not have bid if it was purely online sort of deal. But I thought, if this is here locally, I'm going to go over there tomorrow. And their online store said, we don't look at this page on weekends. And it was Friday afternoon after they'd already closed this online thing. And I'm like, I'm going to go see if I can look at it. And if I look at it and it looks okay, I'm going to buy it. And so, now this store, Phonolux, is, I have to be honest, not my favorite record store in town. Now, they're one of the oldest record stores in town. Kind of pricey. Not a whole lot of turnover. I only go there maybe once a year. And they're only open like 3 days a week, and it's kind of in a funky part of town. And so anyway, I go there about once a year. Interesting place. Anyway, so I go over there on Saturday morning, and I look around on the wall, where they have the really expensive stuff, and I don't see it, and so I ask, I have my phone. I'm like, it says here, Discogs, you have this. Can I look at it? And they're like, well, are you going to buy it? And I'm like, well, I might. Well, let me see if I got to see it. Some other guy does it. I'll go look. And now I'm not going to bust on them because this worked out great. So I'm looking around. He comes back and he has it. And it's like, here you go. Now, their description had said some light ringwear on the cover. Now, it's really, there's a little bit of wear on there, but I swear to God, I wouldn't call this VG. I would call it at least VG plus. There's some bumping on the corners, but for a 3LP triple gatefold thing, it's in really nice shape. And the vinyl, it looked a little dusty, but I was like, I don't know when I'm ever going to see this again. And so I brought it home with me. And I cleaned up the vinyl, and it sounds freaking amazing. And actually, I started with, how it's supposed to go with Francis the Mute, which is a really bizarre, 12-minute long track, which then segues into the 2.5 LPs. I might as well show the etching on the fourth side. And it just sounds so good, and there's lots going on. And I don't even know how to describe this music. It's progressive. It's not metal, but it's, here's that etching. It's pretty cool. It did its own thing, and they came out of that band at the drive-in, which is kind of on a punky side, and so there's kind of a punky edge to it, and it's polyglot. They sing in Spanish and English, and I think also made up words, and it's this insane concept album about Francis the Mute, and hell if I can tell you what it's about. Although it's nice to have all the words and stuff in readable form on this nice 12x12 package. I couldn't be happier. It blew me away. I was able to crank it up in a way that you can't crank this up. Once it gets to a certain point, it's you're like that stupid guy in the Max Cell thing. It's just this, there's some air, there's some room to breathe, there's some dynamics, there's, and it just sounds so much more musical, Not because it's on vinyl, but because it was properly mastered. You cannot drive vinyl, you cannot cut a record so hot as that CD is. You can't do it. The tone arm would go flying off the record. So that alone, means that this isn't going to have that awful digital clipping, and there's some dynamics to it. And it's really dynamic music. that's the thing that's annoying about it, because there's like acoustic parts and then this really explosive percussion stuff, and on the CD it all sounds just as loud, whereas on this, the acoustic quiet part sounds quiet, and then boom, and not boom, ow, clipping, no. So, that's why I've been after this for ever since Sam gave me this CD. I've been after this, and I feel like I found it in really good condition at a really good price, and that is a Grail, ladies and gentlemen. And I just wanted to share that. My life is complete. My life as a record collector is now complete. No, of course not. There are other Grails, right? All right. Just wanted to share that. And speaking of Sam, my CD got a little write-up in the most recent Jazzwise magazine in the UK. That's really nice. On page 6, there's a news and brief here. News and brief. And down here it says, Coleman and Bird get physical. Hot on the heels of their recent digital statement, Imaginary Vinyl, which they wrote about a couple issues ago, U.S. multi-instrumentalist Roger Coleman and Sam Bird venture into the realm of physical formatting with the release of Who Doesn't Fade, a compact disc issued through Coleman's own New Void Jazz Records. Disciples of Super Silent, Huntsville, and the Next would do well to chase it up. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't even really check stats on Bandcamp. That's kind of pathetic. I mean, I've sold a few. I'd like to break even on this project, but whatever. I'm really proud of it. I'm really glad that the folks at Jazzwise like it. Oh, in fact, it also made their list. I mean, hey, I'm going to take whatever I can get. Ooh. Yeah, I made the top list, the Jazzwise Office Vibe. We're in at number 9 there, number 9. Hell, I'm just over here doing my thing. I'm glad people like it. Yeah. So thank you, Sam, for this and all of that. It's gonna be Christmas before we know it. But also thank you for turning me on to the Mars Volta, so that I could then have a Grail that I have now. Pulled the sword out of the stone, etc. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. It's not too long. Haven't wasted a lot of your time, and that's a really pretty special record. Thanks. I'll see you soon.